Welcome to the Sci-Fi Center, the place to be, where comic books and wrestling collide magically. Movies, TV shows, and pop culture we share. Get ready to rock, we're here to take you there. From superheroes to aliens in outer space, we've got the latest news and reviews in our embrace. Turn on your screen, let the neon lights glow. We'll take you back to the 80s. Let's rock and roll. Sci-Fi Center, where the legends come alive. Get ready to geek out, let your imagination thrive. We're diving into the past with a touch of modern flair. Sci-Fi Center, the ultimate pop culture lair.
Welcome to episode 7 of the inaugural season of Daredevil Born Again. Tonight's episode is titled For Art's Sake, and you know that has to do with probably one of the more disgusting street level villains Marvel's ever put in, Muse. It does not appear that Muse is an Inhuman in this story, so like I said, it's that evens the playing field for him and Daredevil. But tonight is episode 7. After this, we got 2 more episodes left. They have already started filming and are halfway through filming season 2. So hopefully, unlike all these other streaming shows, we don't have to wait an eternity after whatever cliffhanger that they leave us on. I'm your host, William. And as you saw when we introed, completely unrelated to Daredevil, but Val Kilmer was a legend. We will go over later on this week, probably later on this weekend, his career. I was already set to do this show when I found out of his passing. Val Kilmer is one of those guys that really, no matter what generation you come from, you probably saw a Val Kilmer movie. His last performance that I know of was Top Gun Maverick, in which Tom Cruise insisted that Iceman returned. As he had done 36 years prior, he insisted on Val Kilmer being cast as Iceman to begin with. So they kind of came full circle. I thought this guy was going to live a lot more because he had apparently beaten cancer, but he passed away earlier today of pneumonia, believe it or not. So I don't know whether his cancer treatment complicated him being able to fight pneumonia, but Val Kilmer is gone at 65 years old. And I hear somebody's background. Hold on. You're on the wrong one. Yeah, you're on the wrong one. You're on the wrong stream. You need to be on it. You need to go back and get onto the other stream. Go back out. Yeah, here we go. All right. That was weird. Brad came into the other stream, so let's go ahead and all right. So yeah, there we go. There we go, Brad. There we go. Yeah, I have the other stream set up for the people who are going to be watching it on Twitch. Usually you're already on when I do that, but you came after it. So I'm like, what? I hear that in the background. Yeah, but Val Kilmer, we're going to go into Val Kilmer in detail later on this week. He's been in all sorts of movies. He's been in spy movies. He's been in Batman. He's been in, he Westerns. He did it all. So we will go into that in detail. Let me go ahead and bring in what in the hell is that avatar? Never mind. Don't ask that question, Clint. So
it's
for those
a devil duck.
Oh Jesus. For those of you all who are Patreons, your link is there. Aaron, your link is in your messaging. So this is just one episode. How long is this episode? This episode is 42 hours, a short one.
Yep.
So are we ready to just go ahead and get into it?
Yep.
All right, it's on Twitch. For those of you who want to watch it on Twitch, that link is tied to the top of the chat. We are going to go in 3, 2, 1, and we are playing. I'm right at the Disney Plus logo.
I mean, you hated all my other logos, so I figured I'd pick one appropriate for Daredevil.
Oh, okay. There you go. You know what? I didn't even make that connection. I can't look at that for the whole time. It's making me laugh. There are 2 Aussies in this chat right now.
I do have a criticism of this show.
What's that?
No, this is episode 7, 4th. The last episode will be episode 9.
I'll wait till after the show is showed before my criticism. Starbucks.
If Fisk was smart, he would let Daredevil handle it and just reap the rewards, but his obsession with him is always going to be his undoing.
It's like Fisk gets turned into a little baby when he heard that he was back. It's like, oh no.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that does line up with the comic interpretation. There's so many decisions that Wilson Fisk could have made that he would have been just fine with if he'd have made the other decision, but he made every one that led to him. He just he couldn't leave Daredevil alone. He just couldn't do it.
Yeah. This comic book series really plays up the power of the mayor of New York.
Much more
Like,
exciting than the real guy right now.
yeah, it's like the mayor of New York is not the godfather of New York City. It's like I barely understand the mayor of Las Vegas, what power that has, other than, hey, we're a great city.
Hello, Aaron.
Oh, hello.
And first and most obvious point to make. Oh, that Karate Kid Legends trailer.
Wow, really consistent with what we're watching, but sure.
It would. I'm calling it Karate Fu.
Yeah, I saw you. I didn't get the chance to reply to that, but yeah, I saw you tag me in that. Yes, can't wait. Can't freaking wait.
It's like karate and kung fu did a fusion dance.
Exactly. And by the way, William, Aaron kind of has a question right here. Does Matt Murdock have his period? Because it reminds me of the scene in Carrie when she gets here.
Okay, well, there went our monetization. Thanks, everyone.
Well, I mean, how does anybody do like a watch party of Carrie without talking about that part?
Well, it's natural, and half of the population ends up getting it.
Wow. I just read your comment, Aaron. That was an interesting analogy.
And the bodies are still hanging up there. Dude. Uh,
Whoa.
Oh, I'm muted. Okay. All right. All right. Sorry about that. Yes. Yes. To go back to your question, I have my little mute button switched down on my mic. Yes, we did see all that. We'll probably be talking about that mainly tomorrow during the show, and with whatever like further news comes out of it. But main ones I was paying attention to were John Wick and Karate Kid, and they did not disappoint. And it's funny because with all the John Wick news we got today, William was probably watching that, thinking like, "Yeah, duh, you guys all thought John Wick was dead." I mean, as William would say, math is undefeated. And William, you're mute, man.
Yeah, that was nothing came out of CinemaCon today that was earth shattering for me. I mean, that was any surprises or anything. So,
well, even
I
like
mean,
the Superman stuff, like wasn't like terribly like there was that one thing I DM'd you about like about some of what was
yeah,
but that wasn't like it wasn't anything we didn't like. If it was something we didn't already know, it wasn't like groundbreaking stuff we didn't already know.
Yeah, wouldn't have been worth $1,100 even if I could have afforded it.
God, he just killed her.
Yeah, he's in for some comeuppance before this season wraps up.
Who are we talking about?
Muse, you know.
Oh, well, yeah.
Did you see the MCU just confirmed Tombstone for Daredevil season 2 a bit ago? I did not. No.
Hey guys,
Okay.
we'll answer some of the off topic stuff, but let's try to keep it narrowed to what we're watching, and then we'll throw another 15 minutes or so afterwards. We can talk CinemaCon. What little there was to talk about, there wasn't much, but yeah, let's first focus.
Good idea, William.
That is just weird. That power,
Oh,
I
I have a
can't believe that
prediction.
he can actually do that, but that's neat.
Oh, I have a prediction. The chick that he's seeing is gonna be killed by Muse.
I don't like the fact that this guy has my last name.
Oh, she's still alive. She's just been knocked out.
Oof.
I will be fainting.
Oh, this is. Oh boy. I was just saying, he wasn't kidding when he talked about like Muse's vial.
Yeah, and he's not even. They've kind of dulled, lessened his grossness.
Oh yeah, uh, you've shown us what he can capable of in the comics.
Did he just stick her with the needle, and then what did he do? Did he pull it out?
Nah, he cut her.
Well, if his goal was to kill her, that's an effort in futility in real life.
Nah, he doesn't want her dead yet.
So, Inhumans, like the metahumans
Ooh,
of like the MCU and that.
hold on. Ooh, yeah.
Marvel.
Ooh, ow, nice. That was a precision throw.
This scene is going to get headlines.
And Muse, with only 3 months of Taekwondo training, can somewhat hit Daredevil.
That's
with a lifetime of ninja training, and Taekwondo, and Kung Fu, and Karate, and Jiu-Jitsu, and and every other martial art. That's what Daredevil has on his side. I think this is the first time too that Daredevil's been out in daylight on either show in the suit, isn't it? First time I can think of.
Yeah, it's not a normal activity for him.
Yeah, he's like Batman in that regard. You know, he's very nocturnal.
Mm.
Oh, these fight scenes. Oh, he just did a scorpion on his ass. He just straight up went, "Get over here."
That's gonna be it for Muse, huh? Was expecting him to be around a little bit longer.
So you don't think he's coming back from that?
Nah, because they didn't make him an Inhuman, so he's not.
Yeah.
In his comic book form, he could have healed back with it, no problem. But
Yeah, because they don't want to acknowledge their Inhumans TV show.
well, there's a lot of other elements too. That there's no blind spot. His partner that was in all this, so, and he was a superhuman as well.
Poor Ensign Mount.
I mean, he's basically brought, and I knew he was going to be a plot device, but I thought they would do a little bit more with him.
That was like anticlimax.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, maybe they also kind of wanted to like save the finale for Bullseye.
Yeah, but that doesn't make any. Well, Bullseye's there, but he's shit. You only got 2 more episodes. I mean,
Yeah, and he's actually been. I mean, they took him off the board for most of the show, and they,
Yeah.
even though he's alive, they're not keeping him alive for nothing.
This is some West Wing type shit. You ever watch that show, The West Wing? This kind of reminds me of that.
This is like really no big deal. I don't think Matt Murdock cares who takes credit.
Nah, it's the Kingpin's. That's the whole thing. It's the Kingpin collapsing within himself with his own ego.
You know, we should put, with Muse Estate there, we should also probably bear in mind that this episode was released on April 1st. So, that might have been like their version of an April Fool's joke.
Well,
Yeah,
if he had his inhuman powers, like I said, he could come back from that, but they haven't indicated.
Yeah. I mean, that might be like a last minute reveal. They do.
Yeah, his body's missing from the morgue. Yeah, could. I mean, anything could happen. It's comic books. It was you.
That's one of my favorite. The names of one of my favorite bands, Muse.
That's one of your favorite what?
Bands.
Oh,
Muse.
yeah, gotcha.
This episode needs to pick up, and it ain't got a lot of time.
That reminds me of that table in Batman. Can you pass the salt?
Oh, it gets a little better.
Oh, you know what Vanessa is? She's Lady Macbeth.
Yeah, you're right. I could see that.
Okay, well, this guy's about to die. I'm just gonna call it right now. That's a setup.
Yes, it was. Walked right into the trap there. And he's so unfazed. Like, if I had, even if he's shooting the guy behind me, if I have two bullets whiz over my head, I'm shitting bricks.
All right, so I'm not going to say this episode sucked.
Yeah, I get the feeling your pause there. It's like this is your favorite episode of the season.
But comparatively, this episode sucked.
The last two were really firing on all cylinders.
And maybe that's why. Maybe because
is that
those
contrast?
Episodes, yeah, you kind of like set a standard that's really hard to reach. But I could have saved that episode for tomorrow night. I didn't have to watch that alone. Oh.
Well, it just seems to me this whole series is way too interconnected for a city of the size of New York or even Hell's Kitchen. I mean, Muse is all of a sudden seeing the doctor that.
That's what I'm saying. What the? That was too convenient. Yeah. That what?
You know, it's like who's
You got
also
one
seeing,
psychiatrist in the whole fucking city.
yeah, there's probably 1,000 of them in just Hell's Kitchen.
Yeah, given what that place goes through, that was just too convenient, and it just you spent the first 4 or 5 episodes building him up, and then his demise, which I knew was coming. I mean, come on, you knew he wasn't. His demise comes very quickly in the comics, but there was just nothing to it. He was basically used as a plot device, which is fine.
It was the anticlimax.
Yeah, well, again, that's like I feel like they're really kind of putting their chip as far as like the finale of Morning. I feel like they're really kind of putting their chips pretty heavily on like the combination of Kingpin and Bullseye. Like that's where they're really kind of their focus lies. I think with the villains as far as like where the finale is going to land.
Bullseye just happens to kill Daredevil's best friend.
I think kills
Zero's best friend.
I don't think he's dead. I think Bullseye was set up to make it look like it. But here's the thing. Bullseye, that is one of the significant upgrades this show needs to make. Because he ain't, as is not good enough to be next up with these last 2 episodes. As is, Bullseye, the way they've handled Bullseye, I don't fucking care about Bullseye.
Well, he also has to be on the show that much.
And when he's on the show, I don't care.
I mean, he's like at the beginning of episode 1 and a little bit in episode 1. So.
But this isn't his first time on this with these characters. That's a character that if this is gonna work, it has to be better than he's been. It wasn't great on Netflix, and it wasn't great for the 5 minutes we had him here, for this show. So if it's not going to be Muse, which is fine, and you're going to wrap it up with him being heavily involved in the storyline, they need to improve that character on every level. Because to be honest with you, he's a D-level character on an A-level show. And if they're going to use Bullseye in that fashion, he needs to be A-level, and it hasn't been since he's been on the show. Bullseye has been one of the I have my 5 letdowns. Bullseye is probably one of the significant letdowns in his tenure period. So since they've upgraded every level of this show, I hope they upgrade the context of that character. That's my wish for these last 2 episodes, if they're going to use him, because they may just save him to next season. They've already started filming. They're already halfway through shooting. So there's no guarantee that we're going to see him in any significant fashion. But if he is, I'm sorry. That's as somebody who loves, those stories that involve his character. I have not been fulfilled at all since they brought him in to the Charlie Cox Daredevil era on either show. So, okay, cool. You got rid of Muse. Starting to get tired of Kingpin. If you're gonna have this be a focal point, then it can't be the Bullseye that's gone before, in my opinion. It's got to be better than that. So I hope that along with everything else that has been upgraded with this show, Bullseye's next, and Elektra. If Elektra's involved, if you bring in Bullseye, there's a good chance you would see her. Those 2 characters were the 2 significant failures on this whole thing. So if they're gonna bring them back, that's where Disney and MCU can add their enhancement to it, because those 2 characters were letdowns.
It's actually interesting. It's such a. Just make sure
you're not muted. I can hear you.
Yeah, it's actually interesting because they did. There have been cameos teased, and where of course we're heading in the.
Where's the Punisher? I was hoping to see Prank this episode, but hell.
Well, but he was already known he was going to be on the show. So
they've shown him.
I mean, as far as like any like surprise cameos they were alluding to, they didn't. I mean, they've alluded as far as like they've name dropped, Kamala Khan, but I mean she hasn't appeared, so
don't do it.
And there's rumors that Tom Holland's going to be in it, so
God, man, imagine.
Nah, I don't.
God,
I don't
imagine
think.
the
I don't.
internet
I don't
break.
think. I don't think. I don't think Spider-Man's going to be in this. And I don't think Kamala Khan's going to be in this. That was a cute little. I don't know what that was, but it was convenient. But I don't think she's going to be.
It was weird too, because I'm kind of of two minds on that, because it's like, because I mean, the Marvels itself, this was kind of on, but I did really like her portrayal of Kamala Khan.
Oh, so did I in her own show. But this show has. I mean,
it didn't make any sense though,
Yeah.
because she's not going to be in Doomsday. So,
Hmm.
well, as we know.
Yeah, and well, I mean, him neither, as we know too. So
yeah, so yeah, if this is headed towards, like I said, I don't even care if you want to dress him in the silly, fine, do it.
Maybe one of the writers were just fans of us. So,
but like I said, that's a character. Like I don't mind like this confrontation with Bullseye. It's a classic conversation that should be happening. But as far as I'm concerned, the first time they get it right will be the first time, because I don't think they've gotten it right, up including the way, the styles of fights that you should be having, and given Bullseye's powers and his skill set, they haven't gotten it right yet. They have not gotten it right yet. And
so was it right?
what do we? I can't. All I see is gloss. You know what? The one thing about that horrific movie was that they did attempt to display his powers the way the uncanny nature that they are. There's not much else about that movie that I liked, but that was one of the things, because he looks ridiculous in that movie. But as far as you have the money now. You may have had more money for this show than you did with 2003 Daredevil. If you want to look at what they spent, I'm going to gather that they probably
I think their
money.
budget was like $80 million on the movie.
Okay, they spent some cash on this show, and they continue to spend some cash on this show. And next time Daredevil and Bullseye fight, I need to see it from Matt's point of view, and I needed to be a fight characteristics of what those two would have. And I need the attitude, the character, the whole character layout of the way he is in the show is like not by Bullseye. And I don't think and everything doesn't have to be just like the comics. I'm not that kind of guy. But in order for the dynamic to work with each other, Matt's sadistic nature and his sadistic nature come together in a way that they just haven't captured it yet in this show and the previous generation of the show. And I'm hoping that, okay, we're going to bring him back. I need to see, just like Charlie Cox has done better acting in this show than half of what he did prior. Wilson Fisk. I think Wilson Fisk is actually. I think Vincent is overacting. I don't know if that's a bad thing, because like that's probably what he's trying to prevent. But when he talks, he's like early over. He's really straining and really trying to make a point all the time. Whereas the other show, he was kind of even killed. But I think that's okay, because he's losing his fucking mind. Daredevil is getting in his head like a damn tapeworm in his brain. So.
You can definitely tell his voice and mannerisms and everything changed once Daredevil came back.
When he brings his name up, whenever they bring his name up, I love the way he just kind of, his face starts to contort. So I'm okay with the overacting there. But yeah, and like I said, Foggy's not dead. Foggy's not dead. I'm almost willing to bet a fat burger on that. Foggy's not dead, and I think Daredevil Bullseye got manipulated into killing him by somebody
killing him.
Yeah, to taking him out. Bullseye thinks he killed him. But he's probably given a weapon to use, and this is how he was supposed to do it. And all those other people he took out are probably part of it. I know I'm sounding crazy right now, but I just don't believe Foggy's dead. There's just something wrong with that.
Something else I wanted to ask too. I mean, those kind of maybe plays into like how season one's going to end, but I'm sure you've seen like the set photos of Matt. Well, first of all, he's got his double D's,
That's for next season, right?
yeah. That's not that guys.
I'm not going to say anything.
Don't twist my words on that. He's got
he's got a red costume that's been painted black.
Yeah, exactly. But it's also, it's very reminiscent of the Shadowland suit. So that's kind of plays into my theory that they or my maybe theory is something where maybe like more kind of like hope that we're heading to some kind of adaptation of Shadowland. I'm
in the minority. I wasn't the biggest fan.
I love Shadowland, man.
It was not a big fan, and I know I'm going to doom the Zdarsky run of Daredevil. I disappointed a customer today, when they came in, Chip Zdarsky's run on Daredevil. I with the whole all the magic in the hand and the fist and the the demons and the monsters, and I did Punishers that got magical powers, and I'm like, and it was immensely, it sold really well. So I know I'm in the minority, but I don't need Daredevil with magical ninja powers. He's okay now. Elektra looks cool in that storyline, but those runs, Shadowlands, not my favorite story, but I could see there's enough good elements in Shadowlands to where you could take it and make it into something like this. It's not, it was a hard read for me, but seeing it roll out on TV might do it justice that I could never really, I never really appreciated the Shadowlands story.
Silver linings.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, I didn't hate it, by the way. I didn't hate Shadowlands. I just, when the pantheon of Daredevil stories, I have my levels and that one's not on it, but that's just a personal issue.
Well, but again, I mean, you would agree from the set photo, the design.
Yeah, it's definitely
it's clearly Shadowland suit.
Although it's a Kmart version of that Shadowland suit. He literally spray painted the suit black and sprayed the DD. That's fine. Well, I think there's a reason. Well, there's a reason why he went with that costume. So yeah. I guess I don't know if that's going to be the reason here in this show, because they take liberties. But I'm okay with it. I did not like this episode. To be I thought
it's not their strongest one.
It moved too quickly, and the payoff for Muse wasn't shit. The payoff for Muse wasn't. First of all, he's not an Inhuman. That's fine. I don't mind you not giving him superhuman powers, because that was for the comic. That was for the comic to make him a foil for Daredevil, because his powers countered Daredevil's powers, so it leveled it out to where he had to hunt him down. So you made him a human. That's okay. You could have really done a lot with him as a human. He has a lot, and in the brief time he's around, he says a lot of really sick to sadistic things. And I'm like, okay, the part of me is like, well, I understand why you won't do this on a TV show, because what Muse is truly disgusting, but you did it. You did the disgusting stuff, and you still went soft on the character. You didn't hold back. He's draining blood in the comic. He's painting with blood. You did everything that Muse is supposed to do to a degree. So why did you kind of mute him and make him kind of lame? You basically made him a jobber. Yeah, let's. What's the only psychiatrist that Daredevil's being? Yeah, okay, sure. Yeah, that's too convenient, and then everything's just lined up too quickly for me. Oh, that's her. Oh, that's her face. I gotta save her. And here's another thing. He's too in time all the time. It's not always like that with Daredevil in previous generations. He's not always. That's part of the tragedy, is he's not always there. He's like everywhere. Lately, he's in the right place at the right time. Just before somebody's about to get capped, bam, through the window. Here's Daredevil. And Muse is gone. I'm like, dude, I was
Yeah, that's my main complaint about this series, is everything's just a little too convenient.
Yeah, and I'm like, and then like I said, once again, this stuff that's going on with Vanessa and her little underlings, and her, proving herself that I'm loyal to you, Wilson, and you're loyal to me, and what the hell's happened? I guess Adam's just bleeding somewhere in a cell. That's okay. We'll go back to him. I did not think I would not care about their insertion into this series. Kingpin is, I mean, they have 2 episodes to really, pick it up. But after that first episode, that cafe scene, I'm like, dude, this is going to be a banger of a season. I cannot wait. And then it's just, I've been kind of let down. This show is still brilliant. Don't get it mixed up. This show is still brilliant. There's so much brilliance in this show. This episode wasn't it, but I mean, the fight scene, I'm not the biggest fight scene guy.
It's just been a little bit underwhelming.
Yeah, that fight scene sucked though.
Yeah.
That fight scene was like,
especially heard the last one too. The last one was like that was.
Well, 3 months of Taekwondo, your fight's not gonna last very long.
And see, that's another thing, is that when the character of Muse, he's trained, but that's not what keeps him. He's actually got superhuman strength and speed. By the way, because I'm sorry, in the city of New York, and that they've always explained it, you got to have superhuman speed and stealth to get all those people. And that's what he was doing. He killed a lot. In fact, he kills way more people, by the way. 60's nothing. He killed 100 people just to make one mural. And the way some of the stuff he says is like, this is what I'm, the dialogue that these guys have done with this series. Muse, they left some really chilling dialogue with Muse on the table. He's basically just a jobber. He's basically like, he's not even the end of the video game boss. He's like that third or fourth level boss, And I'm like, all right. But they got to look down with him. I mean, not really, but with the eyes. I mean, because he was human, as much as you could do with it as a human. But I just thought he was gone. I thought we were going to be seeing Muse all the way up until episode 9. He's gone. I mean, so it's like, damn. So now we're focused on the dirty cops, which I need to see Frank back. Bullseye. I just don't know what's going to go on with Bullseye, because the way they structured the story, with the whole him being thrown off of the thing and him killing Foggy, all that, they just really blew their wad with a lot of the stuff, the trigger points for Bullseye. So what's he going to do coming around? I mean,
and the problem is there's only 9 episodes, so you can't.
Yeah.
And you'll
so these
be
next
having
2 episodes
to
need to be
a lot
really
of stuff
long.
in the next 2 episodes.
And I don't want them to do that, because whenever they do that, because there's too many directions in this show. In this particular episode, there was just too many, for 44 minutes. And then I'm like, okay, cool. I didn't need the guy getting killed at the end with the dinner scene. I didn't need all that. I didn't need that little, the detective thing. Okay, we found Muse. Oh, big deal. You found him and somebody else, caps him. And, the whole, well, he was shot by New York's finest. I'm like, were you just assuming that the psychiatrist is going to say, no, I put 4 in right in him. Then I passed out. So I don't know. This episode wasn't indicative of the show. And they got 2 episodes. I still think this show is really great. Like I said, I'm still buzzing over Frank and him, Frank in that conversation. And that's what was that last episode or the episode before? That was 2 episodes. That was episode 4, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm still buzzing over that when we're on episode. So I'm ready for him to come back. There's just been too much good, but man, I felt some Netflix in there for a couple of moments. I felt like I was back in 2016, 2017, and that's okay for what they were doing then, but you got the resources to like really, and even the guy who was doing Daredevil for Netflix was admitting we didn't have the resources to do what they're doing now. Just the fight scenes and the flipping alone. You're muted, Beth. The flipping alone.
Yeah.
He was admitting they didn't have the resources that. And I'm like,
he said that if they had, they would have incorporate a lot of again his some of his aerial maneuvers that we see him doing from rooftop to rooftop and like the Billy Club stuff and all that. Which I mean goes to show
that he nails that dude right in between the eyes. He's nailed a couple of guys between the eyes with one shot with that fucking Billy Club. It's just like whack. The cop stepped in, whack.
Which goes to show, it's like it goes to show or speak to the budget upgrade from Neville Daredevil to Born Again.
And I'm like, that's kind of cool. That's the kind of uncanny aim and nature that I need to see when him and Bullseye fight again. That kind of weird angle. Wow, 1 in a million type stuff that we couldn't do. I could throw a Billy Club 1,000 times and I'm not gonna hit shit. Daredevil throws it whack. Bullseye throws playing cards, and I tried it when I was a kid. When I first was reading comics and I read Bullseye, I would get the watermelon and get the cards thinking I could fucking do it. No chance. So that's the kind of thing that I want to see added to their next conversation if they do have one, because I just don't think it's been there. Like I said, sadly, it was in the 2003 movie, along with nothing else. But that was uncanny. You see how Colin Farrell was doing it then? Yeah, it was kind of like, whoa, you almost to the level where you're like borderline, that's bullshit, but that it's sort of possible with those two. So yeah, that's what I want to see, and I hope if they bring Bullseye back, he's got to look better, he's got to fight better, he's got to do better with Bullseye, and the potential for it is really there. Karen Page is coming back. I don't know if she's coming back this season, but she's She's
Aaron is just gonna die on this Daredevil 2003 hill.
Oof. It wasn't
I'm a little bit in the middle. I'm a little bit in the middle on it between Aaron and Williams. Like I definitely don't like the movie as much as I do the Netflix show, but I don't have Williams disdain.
Dude, not as much. Dude, you look like who you have in that movie. Look at the collection of talent you have, and that movie is laced with talent from beginning to end, and that's the movie I got. That's the movie I got.
Well, think about this, William. It's like if Ben Affleck had never played Daredevil, Zack Snyder probably wouldn't have seen Daredevil, would not have thought to cast him as Batman.
No, because he was a big fan of Batman his entire life. I think he would have found a way to get that movie done. Look who you have. Look, you don't have a bad Michael Duncan Clark, rest in peace. Even though I thought he was miscast. He did as good a job. I mean, that movie has like talent everywhere you toss something. That movie and Jennifer Gardner, and that was like right in the middle of her Alias yeah.
Also, who's Joe Pantoliano as Ben Urich.
Yeah,
that was pretty good casting too.
If you would have read me the cast list of that movie, and you said this is the movie we're making with these people, I'd be like, oh damn, this is going to be one of my all-time favorite superhero movies. And then when you see it in action, it's like, I don't know what happened in that movie. Nothing works in that movie for me. Nothing about Bullseye works, but he looks ridiculous. Oh, let's brand my forehead.
See, I look that worked for me. I thought that was fine.
Look at the target on my forehead. Yeah. And one of the all-time great actors, Mr. Emmy Award-winning Penguin himself. I mean, these are dude. You had some top-tier talent in that movie, and they had a great soundtrack. The soundtrack of that movie was great. Rebus, Lost in the Rain. I mean, that was Evanescence. That song put them on the map. They use it as part of the soundtrack. There was a couple of different, and when he's jumping around,
that soundtrack was like high school for me.
That was one of the last soundtracks that would really happen because after that they started.
You mean as far as being like tied to a superhero movie?
Mm-hmm. No, tied to a movie in general. Oh, there's not too many. Yeah. Remember when we did our special, the middle of the 2000s is when it started to go away.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
it sucks, man, because but like I said, I know usually in one of the match Bullseye had a 50% chance of winning against Murdoch, but that goes down. Okay. You know what? The only Captain Charisma, only you and me are gonna understand this. Only you and me are gonna understand this. And if anybody else understands what he just typed, I need you to type it in the chat right now. And type it in the messages right now, or not in the messages, in the comments afterwards. I read that and I almost read the whole thing, and then I looked at the bottom line and saw where you were leading me. That's hilarious. Wrestling fans, you know what he just did to me. He kills her in the
Well, she is in season 2 though, so
yeah. I listen, I don't like what they did in the comics with Karen Page at the end too. And Bullseye kills her, and then Daredevil goes and beats her. I mean, it's just like, I didn't agree with them doing it in the comics second time around because I thought they were trying to get the emotion and the feeling of when Elektra died. But yeah, all right, that movie was packed with its cast, but the story didn't. Just maybe that's it. The story failed it. Singer, hang on.
We should also, because William, you have not seen the director's cut, right?
I'm not going to.
And that's something a lot of people have said. It's like that adds in, and it's like this weird thing, like something about Ben Affleck superhero movies. There's always a much better director's cut.
You would have to. The only way a director's cut could help that movie, if you completely subtract the one that got released in the theater.
Well, see what it is with that is like it adds back in the subplot where Matt is trying to Coolio. He takes on this client by Coolio, who's kind of like this guy who's being framed by the Kingpin, and so and Matt's kind of investigating his case, and that's and it adds so much more back into it because there isn't really like a central kind of like Kingpin plot or Daredevil versus Kingpin plot, and that adds it back into it.
That's not
well. Again, like I said, William. Okay, I mean the track record. Okay, Daredevil, BVS, Suicide Squad.
You cannot.
Every time there's a Ben Affleck superhero movie,
You're flirting with lunacy, putting Daredevil in the category of any of those.
I didn't know. I didn't
movies
say it
that
was.
you played.
No, I'm not. I'm not making like
You know,
a,
the
a
difference,
brother-
yeah, but the difference between those movies that you mentioned later are good movies. All right, they are good movies. BBS is a good movie. A director's cut, adds to that, but you're talking about trying to save a bad
This
movie,
movie was so successful that they ended up making a spin-off movie.
Yeah,
with the
yeah.
Electro.
Which is horrible.
which was awful.
And actually, because I haven't seen Electra in pretty much since it came out, I bet he actually did film a cameo as Matt for that. I don't think it made it into the movie though, but he did film a cameo as Matt Murdock for the Electra movie.
Yeah.
But yes, it seems there is always a Ben Affleck's. Maybe that's what he needs. Like, if you want to see like the rest of his Batman story complete, is like he needs like a legally binding document that's like the director's cut is the one that gets released.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, you guys can die on you can literally die on the same hill that movie died on for me. But yeah.
Oh, also die on this hill.
Nah.
Why? See, why do you even have that sitting around? The only place that should in your house that should be. Where's your garbage can at? You got a dog.
Yeah.
Take your dog's chew toy away and give them Mystery Men, and they don't even want it. The dog's gonna be like,
Aaron, high five to the screen.
I would rather
all in
your
there.
dog. If you gave that to your dog to chew up, your dog would rather chase its own tail than chew on that movie. That movie's not even dog. Oh my goodness.
Yes, but William, if you want to have power over the conflict ahead, you must first have power over that which conflicts you. It's like, and until you learn to master your rage will become your master. And it's like the loss of manpower can be replaced by the addition of firepower.
I can't. That movie had the fate it deserved. All right, that movie had the fate it deserved.
To strike your opponent's hide, or what was it like? Do you hide your strikes from your opponent, you'll easily strike your opponent's side. I love the Sphinx in that so much because that's how he trained. There's every saying.
There you go. There you go. He knows. Scott Steiner, when in his legendary promo, I forgot who he is fighting, but he did this long promo about math, and it was so hilarious. And it's one of the most. It's a meme. It's a meme now. It's so hilarious. But if you don't know who Scott Steiner, Big Papa Pump, it was hilarious because everybody's looking at him, trying to figure out his math, and nobody got it. But he just kept flowing. It's legendary. All right, Shinra-kan. I mean,
it's not honestly. The biggest things for me today were like the John Wick news and the Karate Kid Legends trailer and anything that came out of that. And I mean, the one that got big news really was John Wick, where they announced like 4 different things with it, including John Wick 5. So that was definitely those are my big ones. And then
I can't. Karate Kid is banned from the show. All right, there's no. Aaron,
we have to jump.
There's no loose science fiction, anything to Karate Kid.
No,
there is. Mean, none of you here are old enough to have 80s nostalgia.
There is, because the 2010 movie was a remake that has now been, they reached through the multiverse and pulled it into the mainline Karate Kid universe.
Okay,
that is by
your incoming Kung Fu show, man, you guys can do a marathon. In fact, you don't even have just go 24/7 till you drop and pass out of exhaustion. But I don't want to hear about any of that stuff.
Yeah, John Wick 5. We want more of your money.
Well, you know what? I say keep making them until they start to dwindle. You know what? The first John, and then just pay attention. Don't do what the Expendables did. Don't stay beyond your time. When the money starts to dwindle and it doesn't look like there's any story to tell, then you stop. I still haven't seen all these movies. I think there's still tons of story to tell with John Wick in his universe, and so I'm okay with that. Whereas the Expendables, I'm sitting in Expendables 2.
It's peaked at 2, yeah.
I'm sitting in Expendables 2 thinking, okay, what else can I do to get value out of my day? Because this movie's not doing it for me. And that was it. And there shouldn't have been a third, and there shouldn't have been a fourth one. I don't want to see John Wick go down that trail. But right now, as we sit, the story is still creative. There's still more story to tell. The spinoffs, I'm okay. As long as they handled them right. And this is with everything, I cannot wait for the ballerina. That looks great.
Yeah. And by the way, that's
put her on the map. She's here in Vegas, by the way. Did you see her? She's hanging around at the tables. They have at the Caesars. They had the tables with her logo on them, and she's
by the way,
and other news. Zack Snyder and his UFC movie official.
Yep,
is
yep,
official now.
yep.
Yeah. And this is where I'm going to get hit on by people like, you're just a fan of the superhero stuff, because how come you're not excited about the UFC movie?
Well, first of all, listen. Here on the
I'm
Aaron
not
and
excited. I'm not
Aaron-
excited about the UFC at all. Ever.
Aaron and I can like, if I'm just on the side,
Yeah.
Aaron and I can like talk about that for like enough for both Lame and I. So
Yeah.
it's like, we
Yeah.
got to.
Are
Are you
on-
sure
on
it's
your-
real?
on your Kung Fu channel? Yeah. I love Zack Snyder's movies, and I'll go see this movie. But
Are you sure it's real?
I'm a comic book geek.
Because
Yeah,
remember what today is?
No, it was announced before.
No,
No,
that's
it was-
been announced. That's the
it was
UFC
announced.
announced like last year.
The day
Um,
before.
Listen, guys, I will watch like maybe like there's a total of 4 people whose name I recognize, and I will watch their matches if they're a UFC. If I'm at somebody's house, I won't pay a dime for UFC. I don't care about UFC. I don't care about anything that goes on in UFC. More power to those guys, talented in their genre. Same reason I don't watch soccer. It bores me. I don't care about soccer. I know a lot of other people do, but if you made a movie about soccer, if Ridley Scott made a movie about soccer, I'm going to be like, oh, dude. But I will go. Now, I do like Zack Snyder's artistic vision. I just don't know if I care about the UFC enough to really get like going.
Okay,
You know?
do you like Rocky? The Rocky movies?
Yeah, because it sounds like he's going kind of like
Yeah,
doing
it's
like
like
an
a
MMA Rocky.
UFC version of Rocky.
Yeah, but I had interest in boxing.
Well, but they use boxing and MMA, so
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know. I mean, like I said, I just don't. You know, I'm
And
just
wait,
not.
and he's
doesn't-
also talked about like he like part of his motivation for this. He's talked about like he wanted to do something that was like by his standards, like was more kind of small scale, and like was
Yeah.
not as reliant on like green screen and like visual.
See, that's my shit, though. That's what I want to see.
I feel you, but it's like again, it's like but again, even with that said, I mean, we all know like he's going to make this like very grandiose and very
Yeah, it's gonna be
it's-
slow mo, guys.
yeah,
Sweat's gonna be going like
yeah. So it's like
a mile.
again,
an
like by
hour.
Zack Snyder standards, this will be small scale,
Yeah.
but
I'll go
that's-
see it.
yeah.
I'll go see it. I just like I said, I'm not, now. If you told me if I had the choice between Zack Snyder doing any sort of superhero movie, no matter what company it is, versus Zack Snyder doing anything else, I don't even care about what the other thing else is. You know what I mean? Unless it's science fiction, fantasy. I'm just it's just my thing. So, but we'll probably promote it. Go see it now. Sinners. I heard they talked about Sinners.
Yeah.
That's my most anticipated movie coming up this month. I think Sinners is happening on the 25th. I think, and I'm going to see that day 1 minute when I probably am going to do a contest because they're not doing a screening out here in Vegas, which is fucking pissing me off. But I'll take a few people with me because I've been as soon as I saw the first trailer for Sinners, and then what's her face, Cliff Steinfeld, that whole we're gonna kill every last one of you. I'm like, and she's got all the blood on her mouth, and all these people are doing a dance. So I'm down for that movie. They talked about F1, a movie I will not be seeing. But it's a huge movie that's going to be.
I keep thinking for some reason, every time I hear that title, I keep thinking that's a Fast and Furious movie.
That maybe it makes some money. And here's the thing, guys. The problem I have with talking about CinemaCon outside of the stuff that like Sinners and things like that is I'm not, like I said last night, I'm not a cinephile. I don't watch all movies. I don't care about all movies. I care about science fiction, horror, fantasy. And stop messaging me, people saying, William, you need to broaden it. No. I need to lessen my horizon because I've allowed in some shit that I probably shouldn't watch.
Yeah.
I don't care about romantic comedies. I don't care about human interest. I don't care about your life journey. I don't care. So when you have these big things with all these studios, only some of it is going to be the stuff that I'm into. Now we're talking about romance. I don't care. Now we're talking about finding yourself. I don't know. No. So forgive me if CinemaCon just doesn't do it to me. Now when I go to Comic-Con or when I go to these other things, I'm immersed in my own geekdom. That is my language. Those are my people.
Your own environment.
Yeah, exactly. Actually, Williams Fly to all looks of it. Yeah. Well, I mean, there's like alleged like plot summaries and things going around.
Well, they showed some footage today, and it's basically some of the stuff I've already heard about. And like I said, they could leak the whole movie. And
if you want to talk about, because I DM'd you that one thing where like it listed off like it
not
things.
yet. I need a little bit more. You know what I mean? I give it a couple of days for there to have some context to it.
Okay.
And dude, that's probably something we want to hit on the weekend because right now the information is not, it's not where I want it to be.
For those of you who don't know, it's like I there was like a little like kind of like description of like Superman footage shown. It was like things that there was one thing listed there that kind of like I asked William about privately and said, oh, what do you think of this? Because this maybe like factors in like to some what we've talked about in here. And he said, oh yeah, I mean that you said that
it's a good topic. It's a good topic right now. I just want a little bit more meat on the bone before I go at it.
That's
because
fair.
if I get some because if it goes where I think it could go, this changes a whole bunch of stuff. So and I don't want to make sure, but I am like I said, they had a whole bunch of movies, and then the Minecraft movie, they looked at that. Now they're going to be putting. Okay, by the way, guys, listen. Remember how I told you a couple of days ago, the only cheaper person I know has the same name as me. All right, I am absolutely not paying 1 cent to go see Minecraft just to see any measure of footage of Superman.
Yeah, because apparently the trailer that was shown there is going to be played in front of Minecraft.
Yeah, it's going to be the footage. And
I guess Aaron isn't either.
Other movies. They did this with another movie before where it boosted that movie. So they want you to go pay for a ticket to go see Minecraft. Count Minecraft as a hit. I'm sorry. You want me to pay normal price for a ticket?
That's going to be on movie. Trailer is going to be on YouTube within 48 hours.
But for a movie, I'm going to get up. I am not sitting through Minecraft. I don't want to even put my hands on a ticket that says it. You guys have fun with that, but I'm not going to pay to see it and just to leave. And if no one leaks it, guess what? July 11th, I'll be here just like that.
Oh, they also talked about Mortal Kombat as well.
Yes, yeah. They showed footage of get over here. I'm getting caught. Again, I was
also the next Scream movie.
Yeah, with that Stu was returning after getting his head electrocuted.
And Sydney. I mean, okay. Here's
Sydney,
the thing.
just let that woman live, please.
I could see if these movies made so much money that it was just irresistible. You just cannot resist the bag. It's not like these movies made, overwhelming profit margins. Why do we keep going?
Well, I mean, because they're R-rated slasher movies. So I mean, like you're kind of, your audience is very compartmentalized. I mean, you're not taking 8-year-olds to see that.
But you can make other R-rated slasher movies. Now, Hollywood, do you realize that you can slasher movies is not one of the ones where you have to worry about whether I wonder if people are going to see it. They always say they want to see indie stuff that they never come. No, when it comes to people getting cut up, people go see those movies.
And they're also very perfect around Thanksgiving, as we know here in the Sci-Fi Center.
There you go. I mean, you can make Halloween cut up movies. Dude, Happy Birthday to Me had no business being successful under any means. But that movie and its sequel made buku bucks. Why? Because it's a cool-ass concept. People getting cut up. People being stupid and getting cut up. Nobody cares. And half the time, the quality of these cut up movies doesn't need to be that high.
Guys, I'm telling you, like go back to like our circa October 2023, and William was just counting down the minutes for Thanksgiving.
Are we getting that this year?
That's a good question. I know
Thanksgiving too. First of all, Eli Roth, no excuses, homie. Every Thanksgiving there needs to be one. There shouldn't have been a gap in between because we didn't get one last Thanksgiving. And these aren't the Godfather. This isn't the Odyssey. You don't need a lot of time to make these movies. All right. You need very few things. You need an oven. You need some knives. You need some kitchen utensils, and you need some really bad pilgrim costumes. I can get that. I can fund this movie for you. All right. 1-star actor, a couple of has-been actors. Get some of them in there. Every film
and a killer dumpster.
Yeah, a killer dumpster.
Yeah,
which,
they
by
can
the
slice
way,
heads off.
Worst death scene. No, it sliced her in half. And I'm like, at that angle, I'm like, dude, this is a Mythbuster moment, and I didn't ask for it.
The lids aren't they made of plastic usually?
Well, the way her body was already cut, but I was okay with that. But yeah, Eli, every year should be just like the Saw movies, where every Halloween there's a fucking Saw movie, and that needs. I need to see.
I mean, like according to, I mean, I don't know if they've started on it yet, but like according to the first one's Wikipedia, a sequel is currently in development, which is scheduled for a November 2025 release. And a couple other things were saying that I came across said it's supposed to start in March of this year, which we're in April of this year.
It doesn't. It doesn't. Trust me, guys. This is not like the set of The Godfather.
Yeah, they can knock this out.
You need about a weekend. You need a weekend to film this. And be honest with you, I don't want to go to it if you start making this like high end shit. You make it, keep it where it's at right now. It needs to be kind of cheesy. The corn things being the weapon, that was kind of cool. And the eardrums, that was kind of cool. The kill scenes on there, the mallet, but the dinner scene was it. I mean, and every one of these needs to have a dinner scene. I don't care what the circumstances. I don't care who the killer is. I don't care how he's been wrong. She's been wrong. What's going on? I don't even care if they're related. Don't care. It all has to lead up to Thanksgiving dinner. All right. It all has to lead up to Thanksgiving dinner. That's it. And like I said, I'm not saying someone has to be put into an oven. However, I got an idea for you guys. And here's the thing. And timestamp this. Timestamp this is April 2nd. It's 1:16 a.m. The show should have been over already, but here we are. Eli. You'll never outdo the way the final victim was done and served up on the plate. By the way, we don't condone anybody being put in ovens. We know the historical context, and you just don't do it. But for art's sake, for the fictional sake of it, it was beautiful. Here's the thing. There's more than one way to cook a turkey. Turkey fryer. People get blown up on accident cooking them damn things every year. Could you imagine that being what you used to take
one goddamn big turkey fryer?
I'm okay. They used one damn big oven, didn't they? All right. You create a life-size turkey fryer. The fried turkey fryer. And every year we come up with a new way to cook the turkey. That's the gag. That's the gimmick. Barbecue it. I don't know. Find different ways all over the world to cook a turkey. But this year, turkey fire. And have one of those accidents to where, where the dummy puts the frozen turkey. So have the person frozen, and then you slide the turkey in there, and it fucking shoots that. Yeah, man. I'm telling you guys. Have fun with this. It's complete bullshit.
Or you can, deep fry it.
That's what I mean. Yeah. You can deep fry it, or you can use those big cylinders. Yeah.
Azteca says human pumpkin pie scene is one recommendation.
I mean, stuffing. Oh, dude, listen. One character's the turkey, and the other one, like the jilted lover or whatever, the one that was doing the cheating, is the stuffing. You get it? So you're stuffing, man. This movie.
Like a turducken.
Oh, dude.
Well, it gives new meaning to that liar line. You stuffed her like a Thanksgiving turkey.
Eli Roth has something here because he's gotten into the torture porn stuff where it's not even like the hostile movies are kind of stupid.
Or you can cook them like they do in Hawaii. You bury it. You bury them, but you cook inside the
Oh yeah,
yeah. You wrap them up in the leaves.
Listen. Like to new viewers, we're not a show about cannibalism.
Yeah, this is all in reference to Eli Roth's Thanksgiving. It's a movie we talked. This is the conversations we had. Science fiction or fantasy, but you could also have it to where you have it on Native American burial land where they built that store that they built that they somebody buys up the franchise and builds a store on a Native American burial ground, and it's like they re-erect the first one. Oh yeah, come on, dude. Eli, listen, I know you're gonna come up with something beautiful. The turkey fire thing. You can have that. That's me. I won't sue you for that.
Have Thanksgiving in another area. Have a Thanksgiving Hawaii.
Good. Yeah, it doesn't even have to be the Thanksgiving. It could be the Thanksgiving on, like I said, they're putting on a burial ground. They're building that same thing, that same market. And then somebody's like, nah, you're not going to do that. That's sacred ground. And then, they're cooking them.
They have it in different areas.
Yeah. You have, like I said, for the rest of my time on this planet, Eli, I need to be able to know it's Thanksgiving by you releasing Thanksgiving. And here's the thing. There's one thing you have to promise me. Please don't do this. Don't take it to space. Don't. I don't
But
want.
you can take it to the hood.
You can, dude. Oh fuck yeah!
Oh yes.
Thanksgiving in the hood. Ice-T's down for it. I can tell you right now. I don't know the man, but if you ask him, given what he has played, Ice-T will Snoop Dogg, Ice-T. Dude, that would be legendary. But
And
don't
Warwick
take
Davis,
it to
he's
space.
You'll be
down.
literally invited
Warwick
to the
Davis,
cookout.
Warwick Davis, you can cook him, but don't take it to space. Once I see Thanksgiving in space, I may have to skip that one. But we have time though. But
Could you do things with ham in a Thanksgiving movie?
Yes, of course you could.
Yeah, corn, ham. I mean, there's so many ways you can, but it's got to be about that one person that everybody in the theater hates because they hated those people. The people that died in Thanksgiving, for the most part, most of them were pieces of shit.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
really want to do it. Yeah, people were clapping when people were clapping when when all the assholes died, and then
Yeah.
the dummy killer. Who's
Yeah.
he's this mastermind who's planted all this stuff. The way he gets caught was fucking but I was like, okay, we're running out of time to end this movie, so I'm okay with it. But yeah, Thanksgiving, I'm looking forward to that. That is going to be that's going to be classic. I mean, we might have like a Thanksgiving screening and like I'll have a turkey in there, watching it. But Thanksgiving human tamales, ooh, there we go. Thanksgiving too. Eli Roth made the movie. I'm just a consumer. If you have any names, Eli Roth with an R, not me, but it's brilliant though. And by the way, you know why I can enjoy this Azteca? Because I know it's not real. I know it's not real. Right? I mean, if there was some snuff footage of somebody being cooked and literally positioned the way a turkey's supposed to be positioned for real, no way. We do not condone the actual harm. No real people were harmed in the cooking of that human turkey in Thanksgiving. We know that. So there we go. So I'm not sick.
Thanksgiving in Texas, have a Texas barbecue.
Yeah,
With the dry rub.
Kansas
Or
City.
cook.
Oh, I have a barbecue contest where the people are just really pieces of crap, and then somebody comes in and just cooks them all. It cooks them all, and it makes the contestants like judge between which dead. Yeah, you could go on forever. All right, guys. Yeah, this is but yeah, that's what I'm into, guys. CinemaCon, there's like about 20 minutes of CinemaCon that I can really talk about. The rest of it is like, what other movies were they talking about?
If they were talking about Thanksgiving too, William would like.
I would have been there.
Like,
Yeah, I would have been there. I mean,
that
that would have been. I don't know why that movie's coming out in November. Why isn't it there? But see, like I said, it's just like the Oscars to me. It's like a lot of the movie talk conversation revolves around things that I just don't care about. I just don't listen. Like the Oscar, like I said, I haven't seen Anora. I haven't seen Anora. It's a movie about a stripper. I'm in Vegas. Strippers everywhere. I didn't say that. And it's a love story about a stripper in Vegas. Don't care. What else? The Conclave, all that kind of stuff. No. And that's what CinemaCon, and that's what some of these festivals are becoming. Like Wonder Meg, she's become a cinephile, man. She's reviewing everything.
Oh, yeah,
for the festival. That's the kind of show you want to watch for the whole broad base of movies. But if it ain't got the 3Ds in it, guys, really, I mean, you can bring it up, but I'm probably gonna ready to shoot it down. So there you go. All right, guys. Yeah, take notes. Yeah, like I said, Eli, this is free.
By the way, Meg sees everything before I do.
Well, yeah, because she's an actual part of a.
And she's part of like
community.
a critics union. It's like, I mean,
Yeah.
I get screeners and things like that, but I'm not like
Plus, you actually start. We get in the game late too, so we're like heading towards the first episode, and we're sending out emails. And I think if we start like for like Alien Earth, I think we started on that.
Yeah, well, that's just the thing I found too is like, I mean, Megan alluded to this, is that Disney tends they tend to be a little bit more cagey in terms of screeners.
When's this Alien Earth thing coming out?
August.
Oh, I can't wait.
Yeah, August. And then all right, guys, well, that's it. We covered the passing of a great and Val Kilmer. We watched my least favorite episode of Daredevil Born Again so far. And we talked about CinemaCon as much as my interest will take me.
And we talked about like fantasizing about the possibilities of the Thanksgiving franchise.
There we go. Like I said,
we ended on a high note.
Yes.
So tomorrow we'll talk.
Don't ever go to space Thanksgiving, please.
Yeah, that would be it's over. It's over. So we will talk more of all of the above tomorrow. I don't think there's anything coming out of CinemaCon that's going to really. I mean, Sony's had their presentation, Warner Brothers has had their. I guess Disney would have their presentation, but there's really nothing.
God, what are they going to try to do? Save face right now?
They were talking about. Well, they were talking about the Flintstones. I guess Warner Brothers is making a Flintstone movie. And they were talking, but I think somebody else is producing that, which is the way. By the way, when it comes to Coyote versus Acme, guys, congratulations, Warner Brothers. You dodged a bullet. You dodged a bullet. And please, people, stop it with the artistic vision won the day, and Warner Brothers yielded to us and broke under our pressure. They didn't give a fuck about you guys, all right? Warner Brothers did it because it meant that they were going to make a little bit of money and they weren't going to lose any money. That's why Warner Brothers did it. The movie,
new rising giant catch-up entertainment.
Yeah, the movie, given Warner Brothers' position financially and where they've been with Looney Tunes and that type of animation for 25 years, if you're looking at that data, and you can just it's all there for you guys to look at. Look at Space Jam 2. They don't need to be the ones making Looney Tunes. If somebody else wants to shell out the money, take the risk, take the goat kick in the nuts, let them do it. And if by some chance it gets built back into something viable, you own the licenses, you own the distribution, you take it back. Nobody else licenses from you anymore. You now make the money. But right now, I shouldn't be hearing any announcements of $50, $60, $70 million fucking Looney Tunes cartoons coming out. You know, let Ketchup. I don't know where they're getting the money from, but hey, congratulations.
Their name from.
Ketchup. Let Amazon, let them do it, but do not by any means, and then stop connecting it with Batgirl. There was two different reasons. This isn't an artistic decision. Warner Brothers they didn't wake up with the three ghosts from Christmas past, future, and present, and say, oh, I have an epiphany. We should do. No, that somebody offered them a business offer and they took it. Please don't try to apply that to anything else, because this is not going to work. Happy. And you know what? Now that it's going to go to the theaters, guess what? I'm going to go see it.
Yeah, I'll see it too.
Looks like fun. I hope, to be honest with you, I hope for Ketchup's risk and their sake, I hope everybody goes and sees it.
This probably puts them on the map now.
Yeah, everybody should go see it. Ketchup took a $50 million risk in an era where Looney Tunes isn't drawing. Somebody needs to back them up. If everybody who's the artistic, whatever, they deserve this, they deserve that. Every one of you mofos need to be out there, cash in hand, buying everything, buy the popcorn bucket, buy the PVOD, buy everything, because if you don't, it's not going to happen very often.
Yep.
So, all right. Good night. Good luck. And man, that was
don't ever go to space Thanksgiving.
That was not a good episode of Daredevil. And as I think about it more, it just wasn't. But hey, it's a great series overall. It will continue. We got 2 more episodes. I think they're going to end on a high note. R.I.P. Muse. Barely knew you.
We hardly knew ye.
All right. See you guys later.
Later, guys.